welcome to Week 6 NFL Contest Show. I am your host, Jesse, and we are back with our Circa Millions picks for Week 6. Waiting on the release of the top 5 from Circa on VSiN. I'll check now and see if they have it up yet. Doesn't look like it. No. But right now, we're enjoying this college football parlay we've got going on. The USC Trojans just took a 7-point lead heading into the halftime. So we're looking good there. BYU is winning 14-7 last time I checked. And I'm pretty sure Auburn's still winning 10-0. So we're looking really good on this college football parlay for the second week in a row. Last week, we got the 6-1 parlay to hit. So it was a nice way to end the Saturday if you were tailing on the parlay, and we're looking good right now. I mean, Michigan still got 14 seconds to go in the first half, but I don't think they're going to score any points. Yeah, they're just going to run the ball and go into halftime. Also got the Cubs game going on right now. Cubs in Milwaukee, 1-1, Game 5 of the National League Division Series. This is the winner-takes-all elimination game to see who's going to play. I think it's the Dodgers, right? Yeah, the Dodgers beat the Phillies, so it'll be the Dodgers and whoever wins this game in the National League Championship Series. So an exciting Saturday of sports. And as we wait for these top 5 selections from Circa, we can go ahead and let me see if there's anything on here. No, it's just we got the point spread right now. So we are at halftime with Michigan USC. So looking good there. Feeling good. Hope everybody out there's feeling good. It's getting cold here in Lake Tahoe. They're predicting snow already, at least at the higher elevations. Where I'm at, my balcony sits at 6,500 feet above sea level. Anything above that to 7,000, you can get snow pretty much from any time this time of year on, at night at least, when it's cold. Let's go ahead and check this. Again, as I said, we're waiting on the top 5 release. VSiN has not put it on yet. So we're just waiting on that. But what we can do is at least look at these the spreads for this week. So right now we've got the Eagles and the Giants. That game is already played Thursday night, and with the Giants being a 7-point dog, they won the game outright. And so I'm wondering how many survivor entries were on that. I said 465 because there's only a little over 4,000, I think 4,600 entries left, or 4,200. So I think 10%. We're willing to lay it with Philly and lost. I don't know. We're going to find out here shortly, though. After last week's complete obliteration of the field with the 2 most popular picks by a long shot, losing outright. Have wiped over 7,000, almost 7,800 entries out of the Survivor contest last last week between the Thursday night Rams and the Cardinals, taking out the vast majority. Broncos and Jets, the international game. I really didn't have an opinion on this one because I don't have any faith in the Jets, but I also don't know if the Broncos are 7 point. 7 points better in an international game. A desperate Jets team. I mean, the coaching staff's definitely got to try to do everything they can to try to get a win. So you could really see them doing all kinds of strange shit in that game as they try to get their team together. Here we go. All right, so we've got our top 5. And the number 1 pick is the Seattle Seahawks. After last week's loss, the contest is going back to the well. They were a top 5 pick. We were on them. They lost outright at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a scoring fiesta. Not a lot of defense in that game. Now they got to fly across the country to take on Jacksonville, who won on Monday night in dramatic fashion. So no surprise that, I mean, I've been hearing a lot in the media that Seattle, is the side this week. So for them to be the number 1 selection in the contest, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are feeling that same way. Number 2 pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers, minus 5.5, just 1 less than the number 1 pick. So, I mean, just right there, equal. And they're taking on the Cleveland Browns with Dylan Gabriel. Browns coming back from London, losing that tough loss to the Vikings. They're a team that's selling off some of their pieces here as they're not really look like they're going to be battling for a playoff spot. And they're taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Steelers are at home after the bye and their win in Dublin. Minus 5.5. They're a very popular side this week, it looks like. I don't have any action on this game, so kind of glad. I didn't have much of an opinion on this game. Again, I don't know what you're going to get from Cleveland. I don't know what you're going to get from this rookie quarterback. Kind of surprised to see Pittsburgh in the top 5 with the games we have available this week, but I think a lot of people are just, they're not, they're coming back. Browns are coming back from London with no bye week after the international game. So, and they got rid of Flacco, got rid of Newsom, and people are just not buying the Browns. So, number 2, only 1 selection less than the number 1 pick is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, Dallas, minus 3. This is a team I liked last week against the Jets. I said it on the show, even though I didn't play them in the contest. They were, for 2 weeks in a row, they were the last selection that I eliminated out of my top 5, but I still liked them. I said I thought Dallas could score against that Jets defense, and until Justin Fields proves he can beat a team that scores more than 20 points, I won't be backing the New York Jets. Now Dallas is taking on the Carolina Panthers off their big home win at home against the Dolphins. People aren't buying the Panthers. They're fading them. Laying the 3 on the road with Dallas at 1,540 selections, so not much less than the top 2. Only 65, 64 less selections. So very equal disbursement of the selections here. And later on, when the full list comes out, we'll be able to see just how equal it is with the opponents. Number 4 is the Indianapolis Colts, minus 7. This is a team we were on last week. They were my number 1 pick, laying the 7 last week against the Raiders. I really liked the Colts in that spot, and it looks like a lot of people are going to just keep riding the wave. If they're on the Colts train, they're just going to stick with them and see if they continue their hot streak. They're scoring, nearly 30 points a game, I believe. So, I'm not surprised to see the Colts here as the number 4 pick. taking on the Cardinals with a pretty sure backup quarterback with Kyler Murray's foot injury, not practicing all week. It looks like it's going to be Jacoby Brissett. People not believing in the Cardinals on the road after that terrible loss to the Titans last week that wiped out over 3,000 entries in Survivor. I thought 7 was just too much. I'm not on the Colts this week, even though I do like the Colts as a team. Jacoby Brissett, I think going back against one of his older teams. The Cardinals haven't been the worst team against the run, although the Colts are one of the best teams running the ball. But 7 just seemed like a lot to me, so I didn't take a side in this game. And then the last of the top 5, Detroit Lions, who were number 2 last week in the contest at -10 and got it done for all their backers. So again, this is another group that's gonna go with the team that's been hot. You know, they've been covering the spread at about 70% since Jared Goff and Dan Campbell came into with the Lions, and I believe they're 4-1 against the spread this year. Only one is their week 1 loss to the Packers. So some people are just believing that until they have a reason to fade them, they're just going to continue riding with the Detroit Lions +2 on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs lost last week to the Jags on Monday night in a very dramatic game, very back and forth. But the Lions are facing some injury concerns on their secondary. And again, like I said, they've looked good. They've covered the last 4 games. So not really shocked to see Detroit back in the top 5. Brewers just hit a home run, 2-1. 2-1 Milwaukee. I'm kind of rooting for the Cubs. I don't have any action on this game, but I would certainly like to see Chicago win this one. I don't know, though. Milwaukee hasn't won a World Series in, like, forever, I don't think. So maybe the Brewers deserve it now. I do like the guys from Barstool, though, and they got a bunch of their guys are Chicago fans. So, but I don't have a horse in this race. But so there you have it. Those are the top 5. Some interesting selections this week. 3 favorites, a pick'em on the road, and a 2-point dog on the road that's been 4-1 over the last 5 weeks of the game against the spread. But those are the top 5. Let's go ahead and I'll release my top 5. We got my number 1 pick, the Carolina Panthers, +3. And I'm glad to be seeing me fading a top 5 selection, as the top 5 has not had a winning week in this contest. Last week it was 2-3. We had 2 picks in the top 5 and went 1-1 with those 2 selections. Seahawks lost, Broncos won. So the fact that I have a contrarian pick to the top 5 makes me feel really good. I think the Carolina Panthers are a team on the come up. Their offense is getting better. This Cowboys secondary is just decimated by injuries. The offensive line suffered injuries. I like the Carolina Panthers' run defense. The Dallas Cowboys have been able to run the ball, but I don't know how they're going to do against Carolina. And I like the wide receiver group for Carolina against this weak Dallas secondary. I think Dak Prescott's been playing well, and they've been getting too much hype in the media, why people aren't giving the respect to the Panthers over the last few games. Bryce Young has played well at quarterback. He's played significantly better at home, so that's an advantage. And you're getting the full 3 with a home team. So for me, my number 1 pick this week is the Carolina Panthers +3. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars as a pick'em at home. And again, now we're fading the top 5. So again, I'm feeling confident in my selection. Seattle, their secondary, I mentioned it last week against the Bucs that they gave me concern with their injuries, and it hasn't gotten any better. And although I know Mike McDonald against the spread with Seattle has been better on the road than he is at home, And people are just saying, fade Jacksonville because they've had that big game against Kansas City on Monday Night Football. But you know what? They also beat San Francisco on the road as a road dog. They won outright. So people are like, they won a big game. No, they've won several big games this year. And I believe they're riding the wave of their positive energy, and I'm going to stick with them. They got it done for us twice this year. I'm 2-0 with Jacksonville. We were on them last week, and they got it done for us, and I'm going to stick with Jacksonville. I like them at home. I like their offense. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball as long as they don't have drops. I like it. And although Seattle did look good against that Bucs defense, and they've been playing very well, they've also been at home and they've played inferior defenses. This is the best defense I think they're going to go up against. Jacksonville is really good. One of the things this defense does well is stop passes over the middle, which is where Sam Darnold has feasted this year. I think if they can put somebody on Jackson Smith and Jigba and take him out of the game plan, I really think they got a chance to win this game. So the fact that I'm also fading the number 1 and number 3 top 5 picks this week really makes me confident in my 5. And I put these picks in on Saturday just because I was flip-flopping on some of my picks. And I just was like, you know what? I'm thinking too much about this because I'm getting anxious because we're having such a good run over the last couple of weeks that I just said, you know what? I need to put these picks in so that I can't change my mind. And so far, with the first 2 selections that we've seen, I'm feeling confident. So my second pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars as a pick'em. Number 3. Tampa Bay Buccaneers -3. Yes, they were a road dog last week, and they got the win, and they've been playing some very tight games. They're one of the more luckier teams over this season, but you know what? I think their luck continues. The injuries for San Francisco are just mounting even more. Somehow they were able to pull off that win on Thursday Night Football against the Rams, but Thursday Night Football is such a fluky game because these teams, they don't really have the best game plans. Mac Jones, the Rams came out sluggish. The 49ers came out hot. They ended up actually had the kicker made the extra point, San Francisco would have took the lead 21-20. Instead, the game was tied, went to overtime, and San Francisco was able to get the win. But I wasn't truly impressed. I mean, Bourne played well, but I really think the Rams just played bad. And now Mac Jones, his oblique got injured to the point where he hasn't even been able to do all the throwing in practice. He's completely banged up. And we could end up seeing Adrian Martinez, their third-string quarterback in this game, because the Bucs are they're gonna hit Mac Jones. They're gonna try to knock him out of this game. We know the Bucs and Todd Bowles, one of his key things of his defense is to stop the run. They're a run funnel team, and their secondary is playing well. So I really think a lot of people are kind of buying into San Francisco because they have played well. I mean, they won that game on Thursday night, but I'm not ready to just fade Baker and the Bucs right now. And although they did lose Godwin, Evans has been out, and Bucky Irving is out. But I think Rashad White is serviceable. I said that last week. Egabuka is playing outstanding, and this gives Johnson and Sterling some opportunities to shine along with Cade Otton. So between the defense, the injuries for San Francisco, being in Tampa, making the 49ers travel across the country, playing outside in that Florida heat. I know it's October, so it's probably not too bad. It's probably not going to be very humid, but, they're out in the sun. Just everything home field advantage for Tampa Bay. So, I'm going to ride with the Bucs. And it's 3. If this game is decided by 3, we get a half a point. But I really think the Bucs will win this game at home and continue their hot streak. So give me Tampa minus the 3 as my third pick. Number 4, Kansas City Chiefs. What do you know? That is the third team we have fading a top 5 selection. And this particular one is, I chose the Kansas City Chiefs minus 2, even though stepping in front of this Detroit freight train that is just a covering machine is not the best position to be in. But I knew Detroit would be popular. And I had to go with Kansas City -2, because even though the bets are coming in on Detroit, the line is moving away from Detroit. It's +2.5 now. So the number is getting better for those who want to back Detroit. Now, why would you do that unless the bigger bets are coming in on Kansas City, right? Unless you're trying to play some reverse mind game psychology where you're like, well, maybe it's too good to be true. But the fact, again, that we're fading the top 5, I feel confident. And these are the moments that in these contests where you have to do something like this, where I'm getting an opportunity to fade the field with a very good team. Because the Kansas City Chiefs are a very good team. So are Detroit. But they're at home. The Chiefs are at home. Yes, everybody saw them lose that game to Jacksonville on Monday night. The Chiefs have played one of the more difficult schedules to start the season. And now they're facing a Detroit team that is everybody's darling. They've just been printing money for people, but they've also got cluster injuries in the secondary. And I think that's where the Kansas City Chiefs passing offense is going to be able to take advantage. Because this year in particular, Patrick Mahomes has been pushing the ball downfield. Now he's got all his wide receivers healthy. Their offensive line is healthy. They haven't been the greatest at running the ball, but I think they'll be able to run the ball against this Detroit Lions thin front. If they can just keep Aiden Hutchinson from wrecking the game, they're going to have to stop Detroit's outside run game. I mean, their offense is prolific. Spags has got his work cut out for him. Chris Jones and Bolton and all these guys on Kansas City's defense are going to have to play their best game of the year. I think we're going to get their best game of the year. The fact that you're putting Jared Goff outdoors in the elements, the weather might be an issue, the wind might be an issue. We know he struggles in those situations. He does a lot better when the conditions are ideal in the dome. All those factors, and the fact that I knew this just by the bets, it was 80-20, the bets for Detroit, that they were going to be a popular side. I am so happy to see that we are fading 3 now of the top 5 selections this week. So my number 4 pick, and what is essentially a contest play for me, is the Kansas City Chiefs -2. Now the 5th and final pick for week 6 of the Circa Millions contest is the Atlanta Falcons +4.5. Now I know I keep saying it. I keep saying it over and over again. I'm breaking my own rule this year, and I keep doing it. We're 2-1 though. We're 2-1 against the spread with the Falcons. Okay? So even though I keep saying I hate using the Falcons because I am emotionally invested in their outcome, I can't deny the fact that this is a spot for them. They can run the ball on this Buffalo defense. Their secondary is trash. Tre'Davious White sucks. Get him off the field. The old man needs to be put out the pasture. He got toasted in that game against the Patriots. Now, does it concern me that I'm fading Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills offense? Yes, it does. I've watched this team put up ridiculous amount of points in games, but that's where I think the Falcons can hang. I think they can score with this Buffalo Bills team. If you can get Drake London matched up against some of these bad Buffalo secondary players, if you can get Bijan and Algier running, because the Falcons got one of the better offensive lines in the game. Kyle Pitts is involved in the game. Get these guys just maul this Buffalo Bills team. Keep Josh Allen on the sidelines. You're going to have the crowd on their side. Atlanta Falcons coming off the bye. They even get an extra day of preparation because of they're on Monday night. They got A.J. Terrell back from injury, their number 1 cornerback. Watts is playing great. You've got Bates. These rookies, Pierce Jr. and Walker, are just playing outstanding. This defense is ranked as one of the best in the league with their pressure rates. Now, it's Josh Allen, and he's like Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger. You need to tackle this guy to get him on the ground because he's not going to go down easily. You're not just going to knock him over. So they're going to have their hands full, and they're definitely going to have their hands full with this rushing attack with him and Cook. But I am just confident that the Falcons have a real shot to win this game, and they're getting 4.5 points at home. I didn't think Buffalo would be really popular. I also thought Falcons might be popular because I have been hearing, from some of the people that I follow, that Atlanta was the side they're going with. So not to see them in the top 5 is good, for us that we're not, again, inside the top 5. So I'm loving this card after seeing the top 5. I'm absolutely loving it. The fact that we're fading 3 of the top 5 selections. Plus, we've got a great Atlanta team on Monday night. I'm definitely loving this top 5. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some information from Circa on the. Here we go. All right, so we've got the full the full list here. So let's go ahead and we'll go through it. We've got Atlanta plus 5.5. Let's go back. So, I mean, the numbers aren't that far off, with the Bills at 1145 and the Falcons at 1,012. So, I mean, the dispersion, they're not that much less than the top 5. So they're in the top 10, but there's equal betting around both teams. So I like that. Again, Kansas City -2, equal betting. 1432 to 1317. So a little over 100 more on the Lions. So we really need to be on this the winning side here to keep our hot streak going. The Bucks -3. 49ers getting 666. Oh boy, what a bad number. 666. To 1358 for the Bucks. So the Bucks are right there. We got quite a few on our side. We're not contrarian on that one. Jacksonville, about 500, almost 600 more, or a little over 600 more, almost 700. On the Seahawks and on the Jags, we didn't hit 1,000. So I'm glad we're on the contrarian side on that one. And then Carolina +3. Where are we? About double, more than double. About double. The Cowboys than the Panthers. So I'm loving this. The way this is looking right now for us, as far as the top 5 are concerned. Yeah, this is good for us. This is good for this week's picks. I mean, obviously, it's always a sweat, but the fact that we're fading 3 of the top 5 selections is, I prefer to be on that side. That's for sure. But okay, that is our 5 selections for Week 6 of the NFL contest show. For the NFL contest show for the Circa Millions contest, we're gonna take a quick break and then come back for the second half of the college football games and watch the parlay and also go over these picks for the contest as well as Survivor and the Grandissimo. We'll be right back. right, everyone, we are back. The NFL contest show is available on YouTube. If you didn't get the top 5 or the 5 selections, although it is on the bottom of the screen there. There'll be the pick slides will be scrolling throughout the remainder of our broadcast here. But we are looking really good right now on our college football parlay. We have USC minus 2.5, BYU minus 1.5, and Auburn plus 3.5. Auburn is up 7, heading into halftime, 10-3 at home. USC is winning 14-7 in the third quarter, or 21-7. Excuse me. I need to update the scoreboard here. And BYU is winning, I believe, 14-7 as well. So hopefully we can get another, because this parlay here is another 3 of them 6-1. So I mean, it's like 596. I know I misspelled this. I didn't put it up here this week, but you know, a three team parlay that isn't a money line is usually 6-1. So I'm not exactly sure what numbers you could get at your local sports book, but almost all of them here in Nevada are minus 110. So, but yeah, so we're looking good. We are looking really good on that front. Now, we do have our selections for all the contests now. So let's go ahead and check out the Circa Millions contest. Of course, the Giants in Thursday Night Football were the least picked team. We are contrarian to 3 of the top 5, where we have the Jaguars, the Panthers, and the Chiefs. Although other than the Panthers, I mean, the Chiefs aren't that much lower. The Jaguars are significantly lower. The Cowboys are getting double the Panthers, so I'm liking where we are there. Then we've got the Falcons, who are the lesser of the team, but only a little over 100 more. And then also we have where's the other one at? Falcons, Chiefs, Jags, Panthers, and the Bucks. The Bucks are the one team that we have this week that is getting more picks than the other side. I'm loving that the 49ers have the mark as a beast, 666, because I don't know exactly what's going on with their quarterback situation, and the injuries I think are just mounting up, and all that good vibe that they've had going after Thursday Night Football. I'm not buying into it just yet. This could be a rock fight. It could be a 3-point game, and we end up with a half a point. I'd take it if that's where we end up, but same thing with like this Panthers Cowboys game. You know, I'm getting 3 points at home with the Panthers, and if this is a game is decided by 3 points for in the Cowboys' favor, and I get half a point, I'd be happy with it. We're sitting at 14-11, 3-2 last week, 5-0 the week before that. This is the second quarter, so last week's 3-2 was the first week of the second quarter. We've got 4 more weeks to go. There's 5 weeks in the second quarter of the contest. But a lot of people buying in on the Broncos. Last week, the Jets were in the top 5. Now everybody's like, man, fuck this team. This is the week the Jets will cover. They might even get a win. Something stupid will happen in this game. Some fumble. Because they haven't had a turnover yet. They have not their defense has not created a turnover yet. They'll end up being some turnover, changes. And Broncos or Bo Nix will fumble or throw some interceptions to the Jets, and this is the game they'll end up winning. But glad I don't have any action on this side because I don't know. I couldn't bet on the Jets, and I didn't want to lay 7 with the Broncos. Steelers, not a lot of people liking the Browns this week, but you know what? They could sneakily get in this number. Remember, Tomlin as a favorite, he doesn't really blow teams out. The Steelers don't blow teams out. And, maybe Dylan Gabriel and this Judkins kid and Fanning, the junior, their tight end, and Judy, maybe they score some points. And if the defense can create something with Myles Garrett, and their defensive front, maybe they stay in this game, get the cover, or at least, get within the number here. So I'll be rooting for the Browns. This is a strange one because I almost went with the Cardinals just to be contrarian, but, why do that? I had better opportunities, I felt. So, they still haven't announced if Kyler's completely out or not. But, he hasn't practiced all week. And even if he does play, the thing that makes Kyler so hard to defend is his ability to run. If you take that away, all he is an undersized quarterback that pre-reads the defense because he can't see over the line. Throws. If he sees one-on-one coverage, he throws it up. Go watch the tape in his pre-snap read. Rams at the Ravens. Obviously, the Rams coming off that upset loss to the 49ers at home. Been one of the better teams, though, throughout the season, and now they're facing this very underwhelming Ravens team. Their defense is getting some pieces back, though, so they could sneakily get within this number. And not a lot of love on either side. I mean, only 600 for the Ravens and 800 for the Rams, so not as much confidence in this one as there are in some of these other matchups this week. I would have had to take the Ravens. I actually, at one point, had considered them to the point where I made the slide for the broadcast here. But eventually I just said, you know what? I want to be contrarian to teams I thought were going to be popular this week. And we did. We nailed 3 of them. And 4 altogether as a contrarian pick. 1 is the popular side, and that's the Bucks. Again, we're on the Jags. So, man, the Cubbies are shutting down this rally the Brewers are shutting down the Cubs right now. They got 2 men on, and he just struck out the guy. Only 1 out, though, with the Brewers up 2-1. The Seahawks are getting the overwhelming majority of picks, in this one quite significantly by over 700, nearly 8. And everybody I kept hearing all week on all these shows, all these, contest shows and all these other sports betting shows was Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. I'm riding the wave with the Jags, all right? They've gotten it done for me twice now. They got it done last week. I see no reason to fade them against a Seattle team that has a decimated secondary, and the Jags have the receivers. It sucks they lost their tight end Strange, but they've got the players. They've got the coaching. They've got the offensive line, and they've got the defense to slow down the Seahawks offense. I could see Darnold having one of his ghost games because I remember when he was playing for Carolina, the 4th week of the season, I used Carolina in that Circa Millions contest where I won. That was one of my 2 losses. He had played well all the way up until that point, and then he shit the bed against the Dallas Cowboys. And I could see him regressing in this game against the Jaguars defense. They stopped the pass over the middle well, which is where he's feasted with Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I believe in this Jaguars team, and I'm riding with them till they give me a reason not to believe in them. I'm sure I'll be cursing Trevor Lawrence in the first quarter, but I think they get it done. I'm glad we're contrarian here. Same thing with the Panthers. All I kept hearing was Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. I've told you the last 2 weeks, Dallas was my pick. That was the last one eliminated from my top 5, that I still liked Dallas in both of those games, and they've gotten to cover both of those games. Now people want to jump on the train, but the train's already left the station. You missed your opportunity if you haven't been already riding with the Cowboys. Now we're going with the Panthers at home with a decent receiving group against a very injured filled Cowboys defense, and the Panthers can stop the run, which could affect Dak's ability for the play action. And being the full 3 at home, if we end up with a half a point, if this game is decided by a field goal, I'm okay with that. Chargers and Dolphins. A lot of people were saying Chargers. I almost went with the Dolphins. I just couldn't do it, though. There's just too many question marks about both these teams. I don't really know what kind of a effort you're going to get from the Dolphins at this point. And the Chargers, with all the injuries to their running backs or injuries on the offensive line, their wide receivers were banged up throughout the week. I love Justin Herbert, but when you have that many injuries on one side of the ball, it's just, you don't know which way to go. And laying the 4, could this game be a push? Yes. I struggled with this one, so I ended up moving on. Like I said, I went with the Dolphins originally, and I even made up the slide, but I said no. Their secondary injuries concerned me. So injuries on both sides of these teams, and just too many question marks about the way they've been playing lately. I just couldn't get behind it, but just under 1,000 for the Chargers. So, I'll be rooting for Miami. Go Dolphins. Now, the one side that we are on the public side, or the more popular side, and that is the Bucs -3. But the 49ers, injury woes, I think, finally catch up with them. Who knows if Mac Jones is even going to make it through this game. And if it's Adrian Martinez, I think Todd Bowles and this defense will fluster him into some mistakes. They've got the defense to shut down this 49ers offense, especially their running game. And the Bucs offense will be able to move the ball on this 49ers team. Their defensive numbers are starting to regress again now that they lost Bosa and some of their other guys. So we are on the Bucs, even though it is the much more popular side, more than double the 49ers picks. An ugly, ugly game. And the only side I could have taken with this one was the Titans plus 4.5. But the fact that they were so bad against the spread before last week, I couldn't back them. And I'm not backing Geno. There was no reason for me to even try to get involved in this game because I wanted nothing to do with either side. So I know I've heard people talk about it's the Raiders week, blah, 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 blah. Good luck. If you're backing the Raiders, good luck. There's no way you're getting me to put taxable income or the ability to win $1 million on Geno right now with the way he's playing. This offensive line has not looked good. The Tennessee Titans defense they've fluctuated up and down, so you never really know exactly what you're going to get with them. Who knows? But the Raiders are getting 960 to 566, so a lot more people are on the silver and black. They could win this game and not cover, though. They could win by 3 or 4. And, Titans backdoor this game, so I'm not involved in this at all. Saints and Patriots. I considered the Saints for a little bit, but, I didn't want to. I know the Patriots won that big game on Monday night. We were on Buffalo, so obviously I watched the game and saw the upset by the Patriots. It took every kind of mistake possible by Buffalo for New England to win that game by 3. But same thing with the Saints and the Giants when they got their first win. They are at home. They're getting over the field goal, which is always a fishy line because it says, do you take the home team and hope that the game, if they lose, is decided by 3 points or less, giving you the win, or are you willing to lay it with the Patriots? We know Vrabel likes to play those, smash mouth, low scoring, keep the game tight, win it at the end type of games. So you got to lay the over a field goal with the Patriots. And coming off that big win, saw a lot of stuff on social media where the Patriots looked fat and sassy, as you hear people say. So I don't know what I'm going to get from this. This is actually a matchup of strengths, too. Like the Saints, what they do well on defense kind of matches what the Patriots do well on offense. And the Saints running backs break more tackles as a unit than any other group. Meanwhile, the Patriots are one of the worst tackling teams on defense. So the Saints could get it done. I liked the Saints. I do like the Saints if we're betting. But I couldn't get behind them. I ended up swapping them out. Bengals and Packers. What's to make of this Bengals team? Joe Flacco coming back from London, gets traded, basically on the flight home. And now he's got to go be the starter, even though he's rested because he didn't play for Cleveland when he was in London. Has to play for the Bengals on the road against the Packers with their pass rush. It's just such a high number. The only side I could have taken was the Bengals plus 14.5, but there was just no way I was going to get involved with it with all the question marks. And look at this. Packers only getting 388 selections. I mean, that is close to a Thursday night game. There are not a lot of confidence in the Packers to be able to cover this big number. I will say, typically when a team is a favorite of double digits like this, there is a reason why. But this just, I get it. It leaves the back door open, all the way to the final second. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them for not laying it with the Packers. But I'll be rooting for the Cheeseheads to smoke the Bengals. Lions and Chiefs. We're on the Chiefs minus the 2. And the reason why is there's way more tickets on the Lions than there are on the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are getting more money. This line is moving in Detroit's favor. It is now plus 2.5. The sports books are not in the business of giving away free money, even though the Lions look like the side you should be on because they've just been an ATM covering the spread. They're 4-1 this year against the spread, but that's the reason why I needed to be on the Chiefs. I need to fade that sentiment. I want to be against the side that's getting all the public love. I want to be on the side. Everybody's calling for the demise of the Chiefs dynasty, that this is the end of their run, blah, blah, blah. We're going to see. It's going to be a tight game. They always are. Jared Goff, 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes. But I'm on the Chiefs. We are laying the 2 at home with Mahomes and Andy Reid. And again, Lions inside the top 5, even though it's not that much of a difference. I mean, it's almost too good to be true to get a team that's 4-1 against the spread, getting points, even on the road. But Goff is not great in outdoor settings when the weather is poor and it's supposed to be windy in Kansas City. So could play a factor. Patrick Mahomes knows how to play the winds in that stadium. Jared Goff does not. They're going to have to run the ball. And if the Chiefs with Spags, can put up a good game plan, they'll win this game, cover the spread. Bills and Falcons, Monday Night Football. We are on the Falcons, plus 4.5. I know I keep saying it. I'm breaking my own rule against not using the Falcons in the contest. But when I truly believe they can win this game, I have to back them. And this was a great spot to take them against a Bills team that's been at home their last few games. Yes, they lost in prime time, and a lot of people saw it. A lot of people are saying, maybe it'll, spark them in this next game. But their defense has been bad, and the Falcons' offensive line is good. Their running back's obviously great. They can throw the ball with Penix and London and Pitts. So I'm willing to back the Falcons one more time. We're 2-1 with them on the season. That's by far the most times I've ever used Atlanta in the contest. And the fact that we're 2-1, hopefully going to be 3-1 after this week. How many more times we'll use them, I don't know. But again, I even wrote it in my notes that it was my last resort, but I just couldn't turn it down. But I'm happy to see that we're contrarian in this one, even though it's not by a lot. Final game Monday night is the Bears taking on the Commanders. Bears getting 4.5 on the road, off the bye, taking on Washington, off that big win in L.A. Obviously, this is a game that a lot of people are talking about last year's game, which was devastating for me. I had the Bears in that Hail Mary game. I ended up going 2-3 instead of 3-2, and essentially saw my season start to decline from that point on to where we were out of the money. So that was a tough loss, man. That sticks in my brain quite a bit. But the Bears are the contrarian side, getting over 400 less selections than the Commanders. Not believing in this Bears, probably their defense, because the defense has been bad, but they're getting some guys back. So this could be a better Bears defense. They're coming off the bye. Obviously, Commanders coming off that big win in L.A., now playing at home, but they got an extra day of rest from the travel because they're playing Monday night. Still missing McLaurin, though. And I think Samuel or somebody. I know they're missing McLaurin, But yeah, I mean, I would have to take the Bears on this one, but I'm not. I have no real confidence either way. So yeah, I mean, if I would take the points with the Bears and hope that their offense can just match this Commanders' offense, and this is a high-scoring game. But yeah, those are the picks for Week 6. And again, it is nice to be with 3 games going against the top 5 selections. The top 5 selections in the contest through 5 weeks have not had a winning week. Their best week has been 2 and 3. So the fact that we've got 3 selections that are contrarian to the top 5, I feel good. Circa Survivor. 4,552 entries are remaining. The Eagles already wiped out 89 entries on the year, or for this year. So, I mean, it's already starting. We don't have the... We don't have the massive amount of picks on multiple selections this week, simply because one, there's not enough. There's not nearly as many selections. I mean, you lost over 7,700 last week. There was more than half the field. There was 12,000 before that week started, down to 4. Just brutal. But the Packers are by far the number 1 team, and shocking, right? 14.5-point home favorite. And that just seems to be the strategy for a lot of these Survivor entries, is to go with the team that is the biggest favorite, because it's going to be the team that has the highest probability of winning. But yeah, 2,528 people are on the Packers. Can Joe Flacco and the Cincinnati Bengals pull off the miracle upset in Green Bay? I doubt it. So I feel like this is a pretty safe pick. Not surprised. It's just overwhelmingly the number 1 selection. 54% of the field is on the Packers. Number 2 pick at only 764, not even 1,000, is the Steelers. Now, obviously, this is one. You only pick one a week, so with 4,500, it's going to be spread out. But Pittsburgh, minus 5.5-point home favorites against a team with a rookie quarterback making only a second start, and it's his first start on the road against a tough Pittsburgh defense. In the hostile environment in Pittsburgh, no surprise that it's a popular selection this week. I mean, I'd love to. They were also the more popular side in the million, so I'd love to see Cleveland win this game outright, but I highly doubt it. Then the Raiders at 308. I mean, that's a tough. It's a tough decision to have to use the Raiders with the way they've been playing lately. And again, they're home. They're playing the They're playing the Titans, who are, obviously one of the worst teams even in the league, even though they got the fluky win last week against the against the Cardinals for their first win of the year. A lot of people are seeing it for what it is, which was an incredibly lucky outcome. Still not a good offense. Still not a good offensive line. Defense is suspect. The Raiders have their own issues, so picking them to just win, I guess you got to use 20 teams, so I guess you got to find spots for these type of teams. Where are you going to use them? Now's as good a time as any. Fading the Titans, the worst team in the league. Rams. A lot of people on with the Rams, and no surprise, taking on a hobbled Ravens team. The defense has not been playing great. They got Cooper Rush at quarterback. Why not take an opportunity to go against the Ravens when they're down Lamar? And the Rams coming off that tough loss. I'm sure McVay's got their attention. And Sean McVay is one of the few coaches that his record when he travels to the East Coast against the spread is better than it is when he's at home. He does well when he travels to the East Coast. So, you know, seeing that they just need to win the game, 5.7% of the field. Okay. Colts, you know, the same thing, 230 entries. They're laying 7 at home, so no shock against the Cardinals with a backup quarterback. Cardinals team that's lost 3 games in a row on like the last play. What's their morale like? I mean, their coach is hitting players, getting fined. What's the locker room like? Though they are good against the run, though. So we could see a tighter game than expected. But, you know, again, 7 points favorites. A good spot to take them if you're going to use the Colts. Broncos with 225 in the international game against a very bad Jets team. We've got one brave soul on the Jets. We've got one brave soul on the Cardinals against the Colts here. Rams taking on the Ravens. Anyone bold enough to take the Ravens? No. Raiders, anyone crazy enough to take the Titans in this game? No. Steelers, one brave soul on the Browns. And the Packers, there's no way there's going to be one brave soul on the Bengals. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games with only one selection. But they're going contrarian to some of these bigger picks. So somehow one of these teams with one selection pulls off an upset, an outright upset. This whatever entry these people have is going to be worth some. It's going to be worth something because they still got some good teams to use going forward. Again, another 5 entries did not submit their picks. Unreal. I even send out a tweet on X, like at noon on Saturday. Like, get your fucking picks in, man. Call your proxy, whatever it is you need to do it, and get your picks in, man. I can't believe you spent $1,000 first of all on the entry fee, and you're already 4 times your pick is worth 4 times what it was worth when you entered it or when you paid to enter the contest. I mean, you could sell that thing on the Survivor Swap. There's marketplace for that. You can sell portions of a entry. You can sell the whole entry. They just wasted $5,000. You know, this is $5,000 right here. These 5 no picks. I don't get it. But then our first loss of the week is the Thursday night game with the Eagles in 89 entries, and I don't see anyone on the Giants. Surprise, surprise. They were 7.5 point home dogs, and they won outright. Football, man. Now the Giants might be in trouble for what they did with Jackson Dart, trying to bully the neurologist into letting him back in the game, going in the tent. You can't do that shit. There's HIPAA laws and shit involved in that. Commanders, again, they're at home. It's a Monday night game. You've got one brave soul on the Bears. So, I mean, it's 1.5% of the field. So, these other entries are rooting for Chicago if they're not on that side. That's for sure. Patriots, 66 entries. And nobody on the Saints, I don't think. No, one on the Saints. So right here, again, go New Orleans. Come on, Spencer Rattler. It's funny, at the beginning of the year, I was talking about how I've seen Spencer Rattler play. I completely confused him with Desmond Ridder. Like, those two. Same player. Rattler's been all right, though. They're talking about the Saints maybe trading away some guys like Kamara. So I wonder what the vibes are like. But they did win their first game. So maybe they're feeling good. Kellen Moore getting the locker room on his side. Only the Bucks are running away with the NFC South, so it's not like they could not make a comeback against them if something were to happen with them. Cowboys, 48 entries, nobody on the Panthers, but I am in the millions, +3. Chargers, no one crazy enough to go with Tua and the Dolphins. Bills, nobody willing to take the Falcons to beat Buffalo. Only 9 people on the Bills, though. I'm sure they're saving them, or they already used them. One of the two. Bucks, 7 against the Niners. Nobody on the Niners. And Jaguars, 2. I don't see anyone on the one on the Seahawks. Wow. Considering the Seahawks are one of the top 5 selections in million, and they were, I think they had almost 800 more picks than the Jags. To only see two on the Jags, first off, and only 1 on the Seahawks. Like, if that many people believe the Seahawks are good enough to be a pick 'em on the road, they're not willing to pick them to just win, obviously. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. But we're on the Jags, so I'm kind of glad to see that there's not as much confidence in the people that are remaining in this with the Seahawks. Makes me feel better. And the fact that we're contrarian again to these top 5 selections in million. We need a 5-0, man. We'll be 8-2 in the second quarter. That'd be a nice place to be. And 19-11. Yeah, that would be really, really nice. But all right, let's move on to the Grandissimo. The $100,000 buy-in, winner takes all contest. $6.9 million to the winner. 69 entries when they started. We're in week 6. There's 15 left. Just as many that were in the regular Survivor got, the percentage-wise got wiped out in this one too. It was a brutal week last week. There's so few picks left already. This is the contest I said wouldn't make it to Thanksgiving. That they can put all of the picks on this this display here, this PDF, that are remaining in the contest, and you can already see one person on the Eagles was eliminated. The Blees. But now that's amazing that there's so few entries left already that they're able to show them and who they picked. Packers, obviously a big popular team. 1 on the Rams and 1 on the Colts. No surprises. Other than there was 1 on the Eagles. I would have thought almost the entire field would have been on the Packers, but they may have already used them, or they're trying to keep them for the holiday games because I think the Packers do play. They might play on Christmas or Thanksgiving, 1 or the 2. But when you reach this level of the contest, I mean, you need to be thinking about that from the beginning, but with the amount of entries that have already been eliminated, you need to start taking into account what are you going to use in November and December for those two island weeks. And we have limited options. Man. 15 entries remaining. Incredible. But there you have it. The Grandissimo. These games, let me flip it over to the other one. Our parlay is looking pretty good. BYU still up 14-7. Auburn and Alabama, or Auburn and Georgia, who the hell are they playing? Yeah, are about to start the second half. And USC's looking solid, man. 21-7 still. We're in the... We're in the fourth quarter of that game. Michigan, USC. The BYU Arizona game started later, so they're only in the second quarter. Still a lot of game left. But you always want to be ahead. And we got the Milwaukee and Cubs. 2-1 Brewers right now, leading in the top of the 7th. I definitely would like to see a team that hasn't won a championship in a long time win. The Cubs got one not too long ago when they broke the curse. I don't even know if Milwaukee has ever won one. If the Brewers, I don't have to check that. If the Brewers have ever won a World Series. No, the Milwaukee Brewers have never won a World Series. Okay, we're rooting for the Brewers. I don't have any money on this game, so take it for what it is. But a team that's never won a World Series, I want to see them play. Uh-oh, slow down, Georgia. It's a tight game. It's only 10-3. I mean, we're getting 3.5 points for the parlay, so I'm happy with that. But that can be erased very quickly. Same thing with BYU. USC's about to, but they're trying to field goal. If he misses this could be game changing. Give them great field position. Nah, he nailed it. Ooh, splits the uprights. Winning 24-7. And again, if you're wondering about the parlay, I gave it out on X and reposted it several times under Dead Money Sports on X. So if you're not following me there, go ahead and follow me there, because that's where I release some of the other picks that I don't have videos for, like this parlay that we are looking very confident in right now. We hit the 6-1 last week. We had 2 unders in the over. We got that one done. Ooh, is that a touchdown? Looks like he got a foot down. Oh, he dropped it. I thought Arizona was about to tie the game with BYU. He broke it up. Nice play. So, and do we think there's going to be a bunch of underdogs winning outright this week? Last week there was no teams that lost the game straight up but covered the spread. Either the favorites won and covered, or the underdogs won straight up, didn't even need the points. So I wonder if it'll happen again. And how many selections do we think are going to be eliminated this week in Survivor? You can put that in the comments. We've already got 94 with the Eagles and the 5 no picks. I say 500 total. At least 500 will be eliminated. And you never know. It's like, with football, if somebody gets injured, is out for the game or something like that, how much that can affect the game. Like somebody important to the team. Like, what happens if Daniel Jones goes down for the Colts, or Jordan Love goes down for the Packers? I mean, You got to like also consider who's the backup quarterback because you might be seeing them. You might be seeing them. You never know. Uh-oh. Arizona got the first down, so they're second and goal. They're at home, so I mean, oh, he way overthrew that. Hmm. Just had to fix something with the YouTube channel for the upload. All right, now we got it all set up. Well, I hope everybody out there is doing all right with their bets. I don't know if there's any Major League Baseball fans. I mean, obviously, we're probably all sports fans. Anyone that's watching the stream, if there is anyone watching the stream, um, if you're a Cubs fan or a Brewers fan, if you have money on the game, if you got any futures, you got a series wager on anything going live on this game. It took me a while. Oh shit. Brewers are up 3-1 now. In the bottom of the seventh. Who is this? Bryce Terang. Solo home run. So, I mean, it's baseball. I went to a game in Arizona. It was the Diamondbacks against the Giants. The game went 22. It went 18 innings. The game ended 22-21. San Francisco. I was there for like 7 hours, but it was like 180 degrees outside. I was there working, so it was either that or go back to my hotel. It was like 180 degrees outside, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just stay at the stadium. But baseball is just so weird. Twice, the Giants took the lead, and the Diamondbacks tied it up, and so the game kept going. 18 innings, man. It was wild. I hadn't been drinking at all because I had to work the next day. It was a Sunday. And I was like, I'll go, whatever, have a good time. Um, so I didn't give a shit that they weren't selling alcohol, because if you were there to party, like, you'd have left way long time ago. And the way it's set up in downtown Arizona, downtown Phoenix, the basketball arena and the baseball stadium are like right next to each other. And then there's also like a big area where they have like concerts and shit. And there just so happened to be a concert that night. It was like a festival going on. And then there's a bunch of like bars and shit that are like right across the street there, and they have balconies. So I just went to the restaurant after the baseball game and went to the bar and hung out there and got food and chilled and saw the like some of the performers and shit. I can't remember who it was. It was like I think it was a metal concert or something. I don't remember. So long ago now, but yeah, that was fun. But man, baseball is a weird game. No clock, man. You got to get the outs. You got to be winning. Shit can take forever. The game the other night, the game 5 last night, that kept going and going and going, but there was like action on the base pads, which makes the game take even longer. When they're actually getting hits and fucking switching pitchers and doing all that stuff. So you can never give up hope in a baseball game. 2 runs, you give one man on because he walks or gets hit by a pitch or some fluky shit, and then 1 swing, bang, tie game. That's the thing with baseball. What's wild is I've been to every type of professional sport. I haven't been to MLS yet, though. At least male sports. I've never been to a college football game. I only live. I never went to a UNLV game when I lived in Vegas. I don't know why. I just never did. They played at the old stadium, though. I moved before they started playing at the Raider Stadium, and I wasn't sitting outside in the fucking sun in Vegas. I'll roast. I'm Irish, man. That shit'll burn me alive. I wore a big hat with a brim on it when I lived there, when I went outside to cover my head up. I looked like a fucking sombrero. Sun hat. But I've never been to a college football game. I never went to a UNLV game. They weren't good either. They've just recently got good at football. And then the University of Nevada, Reno, Nevada, the Wolfpack is about an hour away. Reno's about an hour from where I live in Lake Tahoe. So I need to go to a game. I mean, I obviously want to go to like a big, cool game, like in LSU or, I don't know, somewhere fun. One of the big, like Michigan or Notre Dame or some shit like that. Obviously, all those would be fun. But the fact that I've lived like within easy access to some of these places where there's been opportunities to go to games and I've never been to one, I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Like I worked in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know if anybody's even watching, but I used to build movie theaters for AMC. So for about 10 years, I traveled around the country putting like speakers and screens and the reclining seats and all that shit you see in movie theaters. That's what I did. I was working in Columbus, Ohio, right around the corner from the Horseshoe, but it wasn't football season, so I couldn't go to a game. It sucked. I went by the stadium. I saw it. I just didn't get to go to a game. Hang on a second. So I need to go to a game. Like there's bowl games that were played in Vegas. I don't know. I've been to the Raiders. Like I went to the Pro Bowl when they had it at the new Raiders stadium there, Allegiant Stadium. But I never went to a college game. I never went to a UNLV Rebels basketball game, and that's one I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I didn't live that far from the Thomas and Mack Center. All right. Oh, I missed a score there by Michigan. 13. They missed the extra point, or they go for two. All right, don't let them get within the number now, Trojans. All right, we're minus 2.5 right now. We need to keep the foot on the pedal, or pedal on the gas. Here we go. Here we go. All right, 1st and 10, nice gain. And we're tied in Georgia Auburn, and now Georgia's got the ball back too. This is the life of sports betting. It's never easy, particularly trying to hit a parlay. They are terrible odds, but they're fun. I don't do any, I mean, it depends on what I'm really betting on. Like, I do one with the 5 selections for the millions, and I'll usually put $50 on that one because it pays 24-1 basically. So like we hit the 5-0 week 4. So that was I only had $25 on that one though. I didn't have 50. That was nice. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know if you've ever been to South Lake Tahoe before, but I live on the Nevada side, and because the state line of California and Nevada goes right through Lake Tahoe. But there's 4 casinos, like but they're small. They're like they're nothing compared to like the Vegas casinos, but they're right up the street from where I live. So it's kind of convenient. I mean, I know I do most of my shit off my phone, but it's nice to be able to go there and withdraw or deposit money because like all I got to do is just print it out and go up to the counter and they pay you. Bing, and you can deposit money right through the kiosks, instead of having to do it digitally. I'd really love it if Circa would open up a branch here because they have satellite locations. They have a couple in Vegas. Like you have the main Circa where the Circa Swim is and the big screen is and all that shit. Right there on Fremont, at the end of Fremont across from the plaza. But you also have satellite locations around Las Vegas, and there's one satellite location at Legends Bay Casino in Reno. It's really small though. Like it's really small, the sports book. But I mean, if you're just there because you're placing bets, you're not going there like you're hanging out or staying at the casino's small too. It's attached to a mall. You know what I mean? It's not like it's really big. But that's where I go to sign up. And I'm really hoping to cash. I mean, obviously you want to cash, but I'd like to cash because if I do, I'm going to have the check ceremony if I get a big check at the Legends Bay Casino instead of having to go all the way to Vegas. I want them to be able to represent that because there's, we're only 2 hours from Sacramento, 4 hours from San Francisco. San Jose's right there. And then you kind of have the Central Valley area of California. And California can't get their heads out of their asses about legalizing sports betting. So, like, letting those people know that they have this contest here and they can get a proxy from the, to put their picks in for them could definitely increase the prize pool for these contests. Although I don't think it's going to be much longer before California legalizes it. I mean, they've got so many sports teams. It's like, I mean, poker's legal there. Gambling to some extent is legal there. Horse racing is legal there because I've been to the Pasadena racetrack. I've been to the bike and played poker at the bike in Los Angeles. So, it's like, When are they going to legalize sports betting? And then it's like the same thing. Daily fantasy sports like FanDuel and all that and DraftKings are illegal in Nevada, but are legal in California. So, like for me, I just drive across the state line because I do that every day and just pre-order my lineups if I'm going to do a daily fantasies lineups and just don't submit a lineup and then just come back home and set it up later. But like if I'm at home, I can bet on sports, but I can't do DFS. And if I were over close to the border of California and I tried to use my phone to do sports betting, a lot of times my location, it tells me I'm not in the right state and won't let me do it. And I have to like walk or drive down the street to get closer. It's crazy. All right, come on. We need a defensive play by Auburn. And even Arizona's starting to creep in. Now it's 14-10. It was 14-7. I'm getting nervous here. Oh, here we go. USC just busted one off for a touchdown. Nice. Nice. Ooh. 29-yard touchdown. 4 minutes and 21 seconds to go. So this leg is looking strong right now. You never want to get too overconfident, but like I said, until it says 0-0-0 on the clock, I never think I'm out of the woods just yet. But we're looking good. 4-1, 4-1. USC's got to be ranked after this, right? I mean, and Michigan's going to probably... I mean, Notre Dame, I think, is still ranked with 2 losses. So Michigan will probably be like 23 or 24, but USC's got to be like number 20 at least. 5-1. All right. 31-13. Tough night for the Wolverines. I don't think Hawaii does play tonight. Yeah, see the Wolfpack, they're playing San Diego State. This would have been a fun game to go to, but the Wolfpack are 1-4. San Diego State's 4-1. Who the fuck wants to go to a game where the team's gonna lose? I mean, I know it's college football and anything can happen, but the likely outcome is that Nevada's gonna lose, and then everybody, all the college kids and everybody that's gonna be around that area where the stadium is, are gonna be, upset. It's no fun. I want to go to a game where the home team has a good chance of winning, and it's going to be a fun time. I missed the opportunity with UNLV. Uh-oh. Saying Quentin Johnson, hamstring, trending towards missing week 6. So that's the receiver for Los Angeles for the Chargers, right? So that's just another player down on that offensive side for Justin Herbert. And yeah, maybe we can. Like I said, we're not on that one, so I'm going to be rooting for the Dolphins. So go Tua. I mean, the thing about the Dolphins is they have the talent up front on defense. The secondary, not so much because of all those preseason injuries. They just haven't unlocked it. And, like, if you watch some of the tape on some of their reps during the games, it's like they're not even trying. Like, what are you doing, dude? Where's the energy? Are you just happy to be living in South Beach and, you're getting paid a nice amount of money and you're not too concerned about the outcome of the game, or maybe it's the culture from the coach. I don't know, but it's like, man, where is the team that you seen last year? Now I know having a good secondary, gives the defensive line and them guys time to get to the quarterback and shit, but damn, they got ran all over in these last couple of games. The Jets ran on them. The Panthers ran on them. They play old school smash mouth football against them, and they can't handle it. I don't know if this is going to be up yet or not. No. They haven't been uploaded yet. Fantasy Super Contest hasn't uploaded the PDF to the website yet, so it hasn't loaded up all the picks for the top people. Mm. And man, the games start early tomorrow. Another international game. I mean, I know. Oh, living on the West Coast or in the Pacific time zone has been beneficial because I'm originally from the East Coast, from Florida. So I know what it's like to watch games in that time zone. And I also traveled a lot, so I watched parts of seasons in that time zone, in every time zone. But we benefit because the late games end before 9 o'clock at night. So it's not like you're staying up till midnight, trying to watch the Sunday night or the Monday night games. But the same thing, our games start a lot earlier. I think it's actually ideal for the the early slate games because it starts at 10 o'clock in the morning instead of 1 o'clock in the afternoon, like on the East Coast. But like these international games, they start at 6 o'clock in the morning. Man, it's like, damn, I got to get up early to watch those games, and they've been some entertaining games. I mean, the last couple they've all been good. And the Vikings won, with what 20-something seconds left in that game. The Browns were covering that spread that entire game till the final 30 seconds. And then the Steelers winning. So the international games have been entertaining. It's just, man, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning when I normally don't get to bed until about 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday nights because I work after I get done with the stream. And it's like, shit. Mm. All right, come on, BYU. Don't let them score before half. This quarterback keeps scrambling. He keeps moving them down. It's another first down. They're almost in field goal range. Can the Cubbies do it? Can they come back? Down 3-1. It's the top of the eighth inning. So they've got 6 outs left to at least tie the game and extend this game. Yeah, looks like Jamar Chase is going to play. I mean, I figured that. Shit. Arizona just scored. Damn it. So we're losing on that one. That was actually pretty cool, though. The receiver caught the ball in the corner of the end zone, and he fell to the ground and slid on Arizona's turf, and did like a pose as there was a camera guy right there. Got a great shot of him like posing, holding the ball, laying on the ground as he was sliding. It was pretty cool. That'll be a great photo. But damn it. Now we're behind on one leg. We've got um and we're behind on we got USC in the bag. Auburn's up by the hook. We need the Tigers to stop Georgia from scoring here. And BYU needs to get their act together. Where's the offense we saw in the first quarter? Hmm. Yeah, I mean, we're down 3 now, and we're laying 1.5 with BYU. And Georgia's starting to do Georgia things. Bob Euchre? All right. I mean, whatever it takes, I guess. Get yourself motivated for a game. Mm. Oh, that was the ninth. I thought it was the eighth. I need to get my prescription checked. Oh, Brewers win. All right, Milwaukee, come on. You've been a franchise for a long time now, so they need to get their fans a championship. Yeah, the fashion NFL fashion advice that he wants to see a Milwaukee Brewers, Seattle Mariners World Series because neither franchise has won a championship. Why not? That'd be fun. Boy, the time difference is going to be a bitch, though. Milwaukee is in the central time zone, and Seattle's in Pacific. The East Coasters are going to hate it. The media and the news is going to hate it. Oh, what happened? And then he threw an interception? Man, BYU is just collapsing on themselves. They're going to give him an opportunity to score again. They kick a field goal here and go up by 6 points. All of a sudden, that minus 1.5, that hook starts playing, starts dancing around like, look at me, you could win by 1 point because you're down 6. This is important series here for BYU to get not let them score. That was terrible that he threw that interception. Get him. He's running. Yeah, tackle him in bounds. Did they call timeout? All right, they're gonna go. They're gonna take it to the locker room. But we're down in that game. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Brewers. Moving on to face the Dodgers. Dodgers are a hard team to beat, man. They've got Otani. He's special. Mm. So Jamar Chase going to play. Quentin Johnson not going to play. All right, come on, Auburn. It's the fourth quarter in that Georgia-Auburn game, so we need them to not only keep Georgia from scoring, they got to get back on the ball. There's a little holding. A little holding by Auburn, but he got away with it. Mm. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Why wouldn't you want the timeout? You would have got to delay a game there. Oh, Michigan fumbled, but they got it back. There's a minute 40. Minute 40 in the bullshit. Don't lie, man. You called the timeout. You called the timeout. They got to call. That was a timeout. Hmm. That's a little weird. Georgia's about to score now. Oh, USC intercepts it, and that is the game. Oop, they called it on Georgia. So that was a makeup call. I don't know if there was a penalty or not, but they were like, "Oh, we can't let Georgia get away with it after we just let them get away with that fake no timeout call." Are they called? Oh yeah, it's a blindside block, right? Come on, Auburn, make a play. Get him. Oh, well, he's running it. He ain't gonna get there. Auburn's got an opportunity. Georgia missed field goal. Still a 3-point game. We're hanging on with that hook. We're hanging on by the hook. All right, so we've got one in the books, one at halftime, and one is winning by half a point. Boy, we are teetering on the edge here, aren't we? And BYU is actually losing. So we're going to need the Cougars to do something there. All right, so we got one in the book. And Auburn and Georgia right now are in the fourth quarter, but it's BYU and Arizona that we got to worry about because we're down in that one at halftime. Mm. Hmm. That was close. If they can score here, that's huge. Oh, watch it. Take off and run. None really. Fourth down. Bam. Auburn's gonna have to kick them back the ball. 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Come on, they're at home. Everybody wants to party tonight, Tigers. All the kids on campus want to party tonight. You got to get them a win. He's like, you're going to have to do it, defense, because the offense ain't getting it done. Man, he almost had that interception. He knocked it down, though. That guy would have been running to the end zone if he caught it. Nice play. Tried to run it, not going nowhere. Auburn's defense is playing lights out, man. This is like old school SEC football. I mean, I would definitely, growing up in the South, and I mean, I lived near fucking Gainesville. I never went to a college game. I would definitely like to go to like a game at Florida or Georgia or anywhere. Tennessee, LSU, any one of them SEC schools for sure. You just got to go late in the year when it's not so fucking hot, or go to a night game at LSU. Oh, first down, Georgia. Damn. He had him in 3rd and long, too. 3rd and 9. He got 16, he said. Plenty of time to throw the ball. That dude was in between 4 guys. What a throw. I'm going to give him that. That was a great throw. But they're still only at the 40-yard line of Georgia, so they're not even crossed the 50 yet. They need a negative play. Yeah. Not bad. 3 yards. All right, we're starting the 3rd quarter here. Arizona's got the ball. Not great. Come on, BYU. Get a stop here. Get back on it. This is huge. Another run by Georgia. Not much. It's going to be like 3rd and 5. Eight and a half minutes to go. You need a sack or a tackle for a loss or something, because they might go for it on 4th down if they get it close. Nice play by the BYU defense. Oh, he got the first down. Damn. That was a nice play, too. Here we go, BYU. Nice tackle for a loss. The last thing we need is for Georgia to burn all this clock up and score, not leave Auburn much time to try to get back into it. To at least, because then they're gonna, if they kick a field goal, gonna be a hold on Georgia. If they kick a field goal, they force Auburn to score a touchdown. If they score a touchdown, we need them to score a touchdown to get back within the 3. So, but they might pull that, you know, get within range, kick the field goal because you need to save time so you can have an onside kick strategy, which it does make sense, but not when you've got 3.5. First and 20. Yep, Georgia with the hold. Hmm. All right, decent gain on first down, but they're still gonna. It's gonna be more than second and 10, like second and 13. Ooh, that's an illegal screen. Damn, that was a nice play by Georgia, but it certainly looked like that receiver was blocking before the ball was to the receiver. The guy that caught it. Ugh. So the news is on one of the quad boxes after the USC game got over, and it's the weather report. We're gonna get snow. It's looking like snow here. I'm not ready for it. It's only October. Oh, get him. Tackle him for a loss. Nice play, Auburn. Nice play. It's going to be fourth down. Fourth and longer than 1 now. Yeah, they're already prepping the roads around here for the potential for snow. Like I said, I live at 6,500 feet above sea level. And where I live is almost kind of the cutoff where it's like at nighttime, it might be raining here. And just up the mountain, it'll be snowing. Up where the ski resorts are and everything are up a little bit higher elevations. And it makes it for a pain in the ass because you drive up these mountain roads and you start off, you're in rain, and then by the time you get to the top, it's snowing and slick as shit. And the roads are steep. Some of these mountain passes that you have to go over to get to like out of Lake Tahoe because it's kind of like a bowl shape. Um, if you don't have all-wheel drive or chains on your tires or whatever, they stop you. They won't let you go if the weather report's bad and there's a lot of snow in the forecast. And it's like the only way to get out. Like if you're going to Reno, you have to go over the mountains, or even Carson City, which is on the other side. Or if you're going to Sacramento or anywhere going into California, you can't get there because you got to go over the mountains to get there, and they won't let you go. Like I have all-wheel drive, so I'm good to go, and I have all-terrain tires on my vehicle, but a lot of people come here to visit, and it wasn't snowing when they came here, but it comes in the forecast while they're here, and they get stuck. Or they get forced to buy chains. Hmm. It's third down again? How'd they get the first down? They went for it on fourth down? Damn, I missed it. See, it's down to 3.5 minutes, and they're going to end up scoring, and Auburn's not going to have no fucking time left. Oh, now they give them the timeout. Yeah, were you clapping? Or were you clapping your hands, or were you actually calling for timeout this time? I can't believe they. I can't believe that. BYU back on defense, still down 3. I don't feel good about this Georgia Auburn game now. They started out with 8.5 minutes. They're down to 3 minutes, and they're inside the 20-yard line. Basically, they're within field goal range for sure. So, because I just don't think they're going to leave enough time for Auburn. Could they somehow use up the last 3 minutes of this game without ever scoring? Wouldn't that be something? Because at some point, Auburn's coach is going to have to start using his timeouts. You've got the 2-minute timeout, and they have 2 timeouts. At some point, he's going to have to start considering using timeouts. Arizona's got a 4th and 1. They're going to do the tush push. They are doing. They didn't get it. BYU stopped them. Wow, what a play! Oh my goodness, there's a flag on the play. It's got to be on the offense, or they line up in the neutral zone. Damn, offsides on the defense. First down, Arizona. It's another first down for Georgia. So they got to use up this clock. I think they're going to start running it now. Yep, even the announcer just said he's going to start using them timeout soon. I mean, it's possible, depending on how this clock works out, and if they just get first downs. But either he's going to have to use a timeout now, or he's going to use it after the 2-minute timeout. So they're going to use it now. So they don't get it on the next play. They use a timeout. They get it on the next play, and it goes to the 2-minute warning with a first down, and Auburn has no more timeouts. At that point, Georgia could kneel out the game and never have to snap it, not have to run any more plays at least, and they could use up that clock. And we would still cover by a half a point. That would be the ideal situation. Because if any other way kind of this works out, like if they were to get the first down here, and Auburn still has one timeout, it throws it off to where they could be forced into running a play like a field goal attempt on fourth down. Mm. So Auburn needs to stop because it's got to be a run. There's no way they're throwing it here. No way they're going to throw it. All right, that's exactly what we needed. Because now they've got third and short. He kept his timeout. He kept his timeout. Damn it. It's going to throw it off again. The hell's going on in Mississippi? 3 Mississippi homecoming shootings leave 6 dead. What the hell's going on in Mississippi? Hmm. So looks like they just said Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland are both listed as questionable, but both expected to go. Good. I want hobbled guys out there against these Carolina Panthers wide receivers, and then when they're injured and they don't have the depth on the bench because they decided to play, they're going to torch them. And we're on Carolina this week. Dallas is a top 5 selection. Look at 1540 to 778. And we are on the 778 side. So let's roll. I'm happy we are contrarian 3 of the top 5. And we only have one favorite, the Bucks. Or at least one more popular, get more selections, the Bucks. And if that game were to end in a push, it wouldn't be the worst thing to ever happen. Yeah, having the shit. Come on, Arizona's gonna score again. You got to keep them out of the end zone, at least BYU. He got him, nice tackle. Oh, he let him go. Still short though. Rally to the ball by BYU. Hold them fourth down inside the 10-yard line. 4th and 4. They're gonna kick. They got to kick the field goal, right? Are they gonna go for it? At least line up like they're gonna go for it. Maybe get a cheap 5 yards or cheap automatic first down. This could be big. This could be big for our parlay because a 6-point lead hurts us. We're minus 1.5, and a touchdown only puts us up by 1 with the extra point. They're going for it. He snapped it. They're trying to throw the ball, and he's got nowhere to go. What a play. They threw it up, and it's intercepted by BYU. Great play. Kept them from scoring any points. Great defensive stand by the Cougs. Oh, Georgia just scored. That hurts. That hurts because we are now down and we need um yeah, that's definitely a touchdown. We're going to need Auburn to score a touchdown here with a minute 58 to go. Mm. 153 to go, one timeout. My only concern is that they're going if they do get within scoring range, depending on how much time is on the clock, they may go for the field goal. Although you want to try to score a touchdown because if you need an onside kick, you need two possessions, so you need an onside kick. You're more likely to kick a field goal from distance than you are score a touchdown. So it makes more sense to go for the 7 first in this scenario. They got a minute 53 to go, and Georgia has a 2-score lead. They'll probably be in some kind of a prevent. I'm just going through the scenarios and outcomes in my mind here that gets us to where we're at least sweating the last leg of with BYU and Arizona. Hmm. All right, we've got a minute and 53. What kind of return are we going to get on this kickoff here? What does everybody think about the new NFL rule with the kickoff if it goes out of bounds going to the 40-yard line? We've seen it come into play here a few times already this season in significant ways. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why the Jaguars were able to beat the Chiefs Monday night was getting that great starting position on that final touchdown drive. Shut up. He's already talking about it. Damn it. Shut up. I want him to score a touchdown. Let's get a blown coverage or some shit. Big, quick score. Oh my God, he almost threw an interception. I mean, that was right in the guy's hands. Oh my goodness. It wasn't even close to the receiver. Wow, that was right. He just caught right in front of his man. He wasn't even close to being open. Come on, give us a backdoor cover. Come on, Tigers. Oh man, what happened? The receiver looked like he was gonna run the route, and then he just kept going. It was just out there, no man's land. If one of the defenders could have got under it, that was gone. He's taking it to the house for a touchdown. But instead, we've got 3rd and 10. Obviously, it's 2 downs all the way through. But the more time they waste, the more likely it is they go for a field goal first. Shit. Georgia's on. Well, they're blitzing this time. You got him open now. All right. Well, it's going to be fourth down. Stop the clock at least. Yep, they're going to go fast. And they're going to run it. And did he get the first down? You got it. And they stop the clock to reset the chains. They're already at the line. Fake handoff. Ugh, incomplete. I mean, the running back would have made a nice run on that play, too. Oh, throw it. Oh, my goodness. BYU almost took a safety right there. Instead, it's fourth down. Arizona's fans, they're feeling it. Second and 10. Come on, Auburn. Now comes a blitz. Throw it. Well, that certainly flipped the field in Arizona's favor, but at least BYU kept them from scoring last time. It wouldn't have mattered. It would either have been fourth down and they would have got the ball right there, or the interception, because it was essentially right at the same spot. So the fact they were just able to stop them from scoring is a big deal. All right, another fourth down. This could be the game right here. Or this could at least be our covering opportunity. That's done. He tried to sneak it and didn't move. What are we going to do? So it looks like that's the end of the college football parlay for week 7. As Auburn is going to lose to Georgia by 10. They just got stopped on fourth down. And that's going to bust the parlay. Obviously, we still have BYU. But if you're on BYU, hopefully they win that game and cover the spread. Oh, man. That's just a tough way to lose the game and lose the parlay. But all right. I think that's going to be the end of the stream. There's no sense in staying on any longer. Parlay's busted. If you're on BYU, good luck. We've got an early morning with the NFL international game. And then we've got our 5 picks for the millions. Carolina +3. Jacksonville pick'em. Kansas City -2. Tampa Bay Tampa Bay -3 and Atlanta +4.5. Those are our picks for this week. The NFL contest show is available on YouTube. Be sure to hit that like button. Like and subscribe. Follow me on X. Obviously, we didn't win the parlay this week. Last week, we hit the 6-1. I put it out on X at Dead Money Sports before the games start, because the stream doesn't start until after the games have begun. But to everyone, hopefully you won some money today so you can double it up tomorrow. Good luck on all your NFL bets. Let's get that 5-0, move ourselves inside that top 100, and put ourselves in a good position in the second quarter. To everyone who watched the stream, thank you for joining me, and have a good night.